Alright, welcome back to another video. I've been playing some Fallout 4 Far Harbor DLC last couple days and felt like doing kind of a little bit of a review for it. I've been playing Fallout 4 when it released, played it for about 90 hours. By the time I finished the story, I was kind of like, didn't want to play it anymore, so kind of saw this DLC a couple days ago. I was like, oh, look. People were saying this is going to be a good DLC. I said, hey, why not play it? So I've been playing that. Logged in about 17 hours, a little less. And so I just want to let you guys know: is it worth the money? Is it worth getting? Is it worth playing? For who was this tailored to, and all the other good stuff. So yeah, I mean, I would say it's worth the money. It's $25. You get 17. You can push probably 25 hours, and you can probably, if you really like Fallout and had a good time with it, and you logged a lot of hours before and you've been away from it and you've just been itching to get back in it, yeah, sure, you can log in plenty more hours than I did. I'll talk about the problems I had later, kind of like the Fallout 4 problems that kind of stop you from playing more of the DLC, and not necessarily the DLC stuff, like the Far Harbor stuff that made the game kind of unplayable after you finish the last quest. But yeah, I think it's worth the money. I feel like if it was around 15 to 20 bucks, it would be a little bit better priced. But what you're getting is a lot. It's a lot of fun, and I had a lot of fun playing it. And it was nice to come back to Fallout 4 and have actually a really good experience that was kind of different than it was with the actual vanilla game, which I still feel needs way more mods and have them way easier to install. There's this now in the menu system, you can get mods in that way, but I still feel like the Steam Workshop makes everything so much more simple and easier to do instead of the Nexus mods and all the other garbage. Just those workarounds are just a little bit, I don't know. I've been waiting for the Steam Workshop, and now I know it's never going to happen because of their own launcher and the embedded mod system. So I'm kind of bummed about that, but we'll see where it goes. But yeah, so I definitely think if you are a fan of Fallout 4 and you really enjoyed it, or if you enjoyed some of it and kind of left a little more bitter towards the end, like all of Bethesda games, you play the first 20 hours and it's absolutely amazing, and then between the 80 hour and 120 hour mark, around that kind of range, you start to get really bogged down by the loading screens and all the other kind of stuff you start to notice in the game. That kind of makes you play it just less than you would have liked to play it, which is definitely the case. And that's when mods really kick in to get you above that 100-hour mark, which didn't for me this time, and I've just been waiting around for that, and the DLC came first. So yeah, the Far Harbor DLC is pretty much more of the same as the vanilla game, but better. It's a smaller version of Fallout 4. It's darker, kind of with the story, and with it's literally darker. You have to use your what is it called, the Pip-Boy? You have to use that light a lot more, so you can actually see stuff. And even during the day, with the light beams through the fog and the clouds, it's really hard to actually see anything, which makes it kind of have this kind of different tone from the rest of it. You're going to the secluded island, and it's actually kind of creepy in its own sense. And the story, I feel, is a lot better than the vanilla mainland game. It's more interesting, and the choices actually really are impactful. You can pretty much do what you want with whatever the options they are that they're giving you. I don't want to spoil it too much about what all those options are, or what do you do to go about and getting them. But they feel really real options. As you're reading the quest log, you're oh wow, if I actually went and did this path, you kind of know what the result's going to be, and it's going to be pretty insane. Yeah, it's pretty insane. It's like Faction Wars, all right? So it's there's a lot of there's 3 factions, and you guys can kind of get the idea of how that can go around. And more importantly, there's no Sean, and there's no hunt for a kid anymore, which is absolutely fantastic. There's new guns and armor, but I was coming into this close to level 60, finished around level 64. My stuff was really pretty optimized, and I had my own stuff all set up in Sanctuary, so it's just I didn't really find a need to upgrade gear, because you'll get a gun. Oh, this gun's really cool, or oh, this armor's cool, but we have to go back to your settlement where you have all your stuff ready, because you didn't want to carry it over with you. The enemies are also a lot tougher, I noticed, than the one on the mainland in the Commonwealth. Even on the same difficulty, I found them to be a bit more challenging, and you get a lot more of those glowing mobs where they take a lot more to kill them. And so that was kind of cool that they did that. I know in the gameplay that I'm showing you guys right now as I'm talking about this, it does not show the difficulty off as well, because I feel like I was kind of towards the end of it. Yeah, I got the new armor and then just kind of like just raffle stomping everything. But believe me, it actually is a bit challenging. It was a bit challenging throughout the entire process, except for when I actually did gameplay, especially with like terrible playing through it and missing like point blank shots and still like being able to like destroy everyone, because I already took care of all like the real locations and instances that were actually challenging. All right, so like I know I haven't talked about it yet, but look a little bit about what the game is about. I don't want to give away too much, but you pretty much it's one of the better parts of Fallout 4, which was Valentine, Nick Valentine. And so of course the DLC oriented around Nick Valentine is going to be amazing, and I really do recommend that you take him with you. I know you have so many companions. Oh, they have a companion. I'm telling you, I don't know how this DLC would have gone if I didn't take him with me. He just seemed so crucial to just the story and things that came up during it, that I really feel like you'll be missing out on a lot if you don't take him with you. And also, like, in the gameplay, I did bring dog meat, so I wouldn't spoil anything that Nick would say randomly. And there was an instance where I came upon an area that was like perfect for dog meat. I had no idea that was there. I don't know, I'll probably show it to you at the end with like a spoiler tag, just in case anyone does not want to be spoiled about it. But I'll show it at the end, and there was like a little dialogue line for it, and I was like, oh my gosh, dude, I can't believe that it just worked out that way. It's kind of amazing. It kind of made you like, oh man, I want to play Fallout 4 more. But yeah, I'll tell you later why. Like, I personally can't play Fallout 4 as much anymore. Okay, so Problems of Axel, those are all the good things about it, all the fun things, and like, and all that kind of stuff that's good about the game. There's some things that a couple, like, you have to just talk about some things you didn't like when you're talking about a game, just because you have to. There was this really annoying, like, I don't know if like they're bugs or not, because it's just environment things where they really like to build like their set pieces and then leave a lot of loose objects. And so then those loose objects will get stuck in like this limbo of like two locations and then keep spattering back and forth. And you hear this major like just clink, like clanking sound just over and over and over again. You try and talk to like an NPC that's standing next to it, and you can't hear a word they say. And I have subtitles on, thank God. So like you can read the subtitles, but you want to like reload the save and like try to like keep running into the objects just to make them stop clattering so much, which is just it's a weird thing. I don't know why they even decided to do that, to make like these planks or make it look run down. Yeah, and then the other thing, which was really annoying, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to lever action rifles, but something I found just kind of infuriating, because I actually do have a lever action rifle. Every time you reload, they reload all 5 bullets back in the chamber, like all 5. You shoot one, he'll reload 5 into it. And it's just like, it made me not want to use the lever action rifle at all, because it just is now totally this unoptimized gun, and it just felt so like fake. I'm like, oh my god, this is so stupid. Why does he have to reload all of them? It's a new gun, new DLC. Did no one like test this and be like, what, they just gave up and they didn't want to do the animation for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullets? Like, that's not that many things to do. It's not that hard to do that. I don't know why they didn't do that. So like, you're out there shooting and you want to reload, so you have like, you shot it twice, you're like, oh man, I don't want to reload now, it's gonna take forever. And then the guys are coming up right now, you want to like, you shoot one round and boom, you have to load 5 in if you want to reload. And I don't know, it just makes the gun just not as fast, not as efficient, which is kind of a real bummer, because I found a really awesome one towards the end of the DLC. Yeah, so those are like really, I think the only really 2 things that really bothered me about it. All the other stuff was kind of like just Fallout 4 problems that are Fallout 4 problems, and that they shouldn't really reflect on the DLC. But there are some that that stopped me from playing longer than 17 hours. Like after I finished the main story and all the quests, I think I did all the quests. The ones I saw, I didn't have any more in my quest log, and the data tracker or whatever. And so I didn't feel like I wanted to play anymore. Even like when I got to the end of it and I was in the mainland and I got a couple more quests that randomly came up. They looked really interesting, but I was like, I just didn't want to deal with it. The major things are the fast travel and loading screens. You fast travel a lot here. I'm not playing on survival mode, so like you can fast travel anywhere you want to go. And the problem with that is the loading screen. The loading screens take forever, and like even if you're not fast traveling, if you want to go into dungeons or not into dungeons or through rooms or whatever in all these instanced areas, you're just gonna have these loading screens. The loading screens get really tedious and really long, and they're actually really annoying. So if you like mistakenly leave a cave and you didn't mean to, you have to wait for a loading screen. You're into there. They need to go back into a loading screen, and it's just like they're just long enough to be annoying. And that's one reason why I didn't play Fallout anymore, and it's one of the reasons, of course. Not to mention the fact that the armor looks like crap, and I have no idea why they made him look like a balloon or whatever. It's ridiculous. You have to get mods just to fix it. It seems hilariously terrible. And one of the other things, especially with like playing the DLC longer, say you find a really cool item and you want to go and mod it, you have to go through a loading screen to get into Commonwealth, and then a loading screen to go to your settlement with all your stuff, and then loading screens to go back. Instead of having like a direct link to the Commonwealth, like you'll be in Far Harbor and then have the map of the Commonwealth and then travel to that exact settlement, instead of having to go to the so it's like there's these workarounds that just are a bit annoying, and I don't know. It made it like kind of like I don't want to play Fallout anymore, because now it feels like the vanilla Fallout 4 all over again. And if you guys are out there and you have like mods or ideas or workarounds or solutions to those, that'll be really awesome. Let me know about that. I don't like Nexus mods. I don't like going through that process. The only one I really use is for that launcher where you can change your field of view and all that kind of stuff. That's going to be it for Fallout 4 until something else comes out that's as interesting or not. But overall, if you're a fan of Fallout 4, or if you at least enjoyed any part of Fallout 4 in your experience, this DLC is definitely worth looking at and getting. I would highly recommend it if you like Fallout. If you love Fallout 4 and still love Fallout 4, this is a must buy. There's no question about it. You probably already bought it by now. There isn't any concern whatsoever. You're just gonna shell out that money and you're gonna buy it. Anyone who bought the previous DLCs and didn't like them, I didn't buy any of the other DLCs. They didn't seem interesting. This is miles better, I think, than any of you. Get a full land mass and a lot of stuff to explore, and just a lot of fun. So yeah, so that's gonna be my review of Far Harbor DLC. I definitely do recommend it if you're kind of like you enjoyed at least 20 hours of the vanilla game and you're not yet put off by the graphics or the bulky armor looks and all that kind of stuff, and you're not minding the loading screens too much. I'm not playing it on a solid state because when I did install it, I didn't have my extra solid state yet, which I now do. If I ever do get a Total War Warhammer, that's where I'm going to be putting it on. But I don't know if that's going to fix the problem or not. I don't think it will fix it that much, to be honest. I think it's more on their way that they design the game and the save files. Like the further on you get in the game, the more stuff that's happened, the higher level you are, the game bogs down just a lot more. It's just typical Bethesda's things. Like that's how their games usually go. We expect it to happen. And the only problem is the mods have not been keeping pace, in my opinion, as they were in Skyrim. Alright guys, so yeah, that's gonna be it for Fallout 4 Far Harbor DLC review. If you enjoyed the video and kind of helped you purchase or not purchase Far Harbor, let me know. Comment below, subscribe for more content that I'll eventually do, and I'll see you guys next time.
stranger. This doesn't have to get messy. What were you doing up there in my camp?
You're a super mutant? I'm surprised you didn't attack me.
Yeah, well, maybe you shouldn't be so quick to jump to conclusions. Look, I don't really want any trouble. I broke off from the group I came here with a long time ago. I just started seeing things differently when we came to the island, and I couldn't stand how the other super mutants act to humans. I keep to myself up here and train my dogs. Do a bit of trade with people too. At least those that don't open fire on me. Don't see any reason we can't do the same. Come on up if you'd like. You guys all right? Yeah, you're good. That's a nice looking dog you got there. Where'd you find him?
To be honest, he kind of found me.
Yep. Certainly had a few follow me home before. Here, something for your pup. Did you need something?
So, why don't you hate humans like the rest of your kind seem to?
Started seeing things more clearly when we came here. Who knows? Maybe it's the fog. I just don't see what the point of us all killing each other is.
Did you train these dogs?
Yeah, as guard dogs. Not all can be trained though. Most are used to being kicked or shot at. I can only manage a few at a time though. So unless I find a new home for one of them, I can't really take on any more.
You just live out here by yourself?
My kind are mostly stupid brutes. Used to trade with a couple people in Far Harbor, but they don't leave the settlement much these days. The rest of the people on the island are worse.
Got any tips about the island?
There's a lighthouse on the south end of the island. Big family of trappers lives there.
I was interested in buying one of your guard dogs.
Which one would you like?
I've changed my mind.
Fine.